Welcome back to episode 2 of the third season here at Valencia. We made a number of signings in yesterday. We made a number of signings out yesterday. And there is yet more business to be done. We have a 111, uno, in the transfer budget remaining in euro, obviously. So the squad is thin on the ground in terms of numbers, but significantly improved in terms of quality. And we're looking for kind of a winger and a winger/striker, or a striker and a winger/striker. And we've got a number of men on the shortlist that we're looking at, whilst we're also out scouting for youth prospects as well to help flesh out the squad. So we look to have a more capable core 16, 17 players, and then look to complement that with youth players, similar to how we have done in the Crystal Palace save. And then hopefully moving forward from there, we can continue on with getting some good youth players through to build on what we did last year, which of course was a bloody treble. And we're concentrating not solely on the Champions League, but primarily on the Champions League at this particular moment in time. Javier Guerra is continuing to grow, but at the minute we would very much like him to grow a bit more. And he's not going to as a deep-lying playmaker. That's going to take 90 weeks. But train him as a half-winger, it'll take 17. Playmaker is 17 as well. We're not wanting to sell Javier Guerra. We offered him a new contract. He is staying. But you guys will want to know who I'm looking to spend that money on. And I shall show you in just a moment in time. We have a number of names on the shortlist, but we have actually prioritised. Nieto still wants a new bloody contract. We have... and he can have one once we've figured out what we're going to do with our money. We've prioritised a couple of players. So on the shortlist are, as you can see, the names there. I'm not just going to go through them one by one, but we've got wingers, we've got strikers, and we've got striker wingers, really. So the current plan is to try, if finances will stretch, to bring in Rafael Leao from AC Milan to give him a fresh challenge after a number of years over at the Italian Giants. He will be unbelievable for us on the left-hand side, I think. He's not as strong this year as he was in FC25, that's for sure, but certainly is going to be a good go-to player for us to come in and significantly strengthen our offensive efforts. They want 80. We could probably get him for about 65. We hope to get him for about 65, which would leave enough in the budget to be able to go and get Ademola Lookman, who we could probably get for about valuation from Juventus. So that's the current plan. If we aren't able to get either of those, we obviously have other options available to us. So we'll wait and see how things progress. Ferran Torres is just not doable financially because we want to bring in 2 players. So unfortunately, Ferran is not going to be returning to his former club at this stage. Obviously, we've got a number of fantastic players available to us here on the shortlist. Solis was another player that can play at striker, can play out wide as well. So he too is quite expensive. But we'll start with the man, or my favourite of all of them, which is Rafael Leao. I wanted to use him last year on FC25 and didn't really get the opportunity to. So hopefully we can twist AC Milan's arm to let them, or for them to let him leave. That is a very high valuation. For them to let him leave for less than 60-odd million pounds. 65 is really as high as I'd want to go. And good. We've got to factor in wages as well, of course. So we're going to have to make sure we don't spend all the money on just the transfer fees. Yes! 61.5. Deal done for Rafael Leao. We might just be able to bring in Ademola Lookman as well. Now, he's currently on £89,000 a week at Milan, which actually isn't as much as I thought it would be. We'll offer him a crucial role. He wants a 3-year deal, which I'm quite happy to go with. 150 million, we'll change that to 160. Makes a difference, extra 10 million euro. And then he's not given us an idea of what he wants wage-wise. I'm having to factor in other people here as well. I don't know whether he'd want... I'll offer him what he's on, and if he wants any more, we can negotiate it, but he might just accept what he's currently on. If we can match the AC Milan deal, then Rafael Leao is going from Serie A to the La Liga champions. He joins us, and that's quite a bit of quality, isn't it? And now we have the opportunity to see how he'll get on in the squad with our next friendly, and then we'll see if we can bring Ademola Lookman in before the UEFA Super Cup against Real Madrid as our first played game of the new season. We are going to be pushed financially to bring in a second player of quality, but we might just have enough to get Lookman through the door. Right. Can Leao do something on unofficial debut? No. Or weird that my assistant brought on Javier Guerra at either Javier Guerra at left wing or... Yeah, that's just odd in general when we replace Yilmaz in the starting lineup with Leao. It's Nottingham Forest in the next friendly. And we'll get that one done and out of the way as we push towards Real Madrid. I don't know whether Hauser would be able to play against Real with him being on loan. I think... Oh, Leao with a goal. The goal against Forest. That's a good sign. He's already slotting in and fitting into the squad. So Real Madrid on the way next then. We will try and get that deal done for Ademola Lookman in the meantime. We are going to have player-based difficulty turned on for this third season here at Valencia, which is not going to be that straightforward against Real Madrid, because even without player-based difficulty turned on at Real Madrid, or against Real Madrid, we haven't been able to do much. They want Valentin Gomez as well. He's a very sought-after man. I'll offer valuation here. No, we'll go 41. Talk to me. Is that going to leave me enough to be able to afford his wages? I don't know. I'll try and save as much as I can here. 42 plus the sell-on clause. We get the deal done. He's on 175 grand a week, though. I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford the wages here for... we might just actually... If I go important over crucial, which he should accept, we might just be able to nail him down with a contract. My remaining budget is actually more sizable than I thought it was going to be. We'll go with 130, 140 million pounds release clause. Let's make that 118. Are they going to agree that? They will. And they haven't given me an idea. I cannot afford... What? Technically, I can afford to give him his 175. I don't want to give him 175. We'll offer him 125. It wouldn't let me afford anything more than 57. I cannot afford Ademola Lookman with the current financial setup at the club. We might be having to focus our attentions on someone like Kudus or Matthijs. I can't afford Matthijs Tel. Someone like Kudus or Pajau instead, because financially we're not in the position to be able to afford Ademola Lookman, which is going to be a massive shame if that is the case. We'll head towards the game against Real Madrid, and I'll have a discussion with live chat as to what we do next. Lookman was the preferred, but we are going to have to look elsewhere. The money just doesn't add up. Oof. That's big. That's a significantly bigger number than I thought I might get offered for Javier Guerra. That's actually tempted me. The plan was to not sell Javier Guerra, but you guys know how he hasn't really flourished under me. Other than his passing stats, nothing really stands out. I might take that money and run. Or at least negotiate it a bit more. And then we could afford Lookman and someone else for midfield. I'm going to negotiate this. I wasn't planning on maybe selling Javier Guerra because I didn't think he'd be worth more than about 45 to 50. But if I can get... already I could get 70. If I could get upwards of 80, that would be pretty mental for Javier Guerra, and absolutely that could be reinvested. 72, they're coming up slowly. When you come to 77,500, I like to do things in stages. 77.5 million euro for Javier Guerra, who's a player that doesn't have a 77.5 million pound impact on the starting lineup, for sure. And he's not even in the starting lineup. anymore because Sudakov's been brought into the side. I think that's too much to turn down. We will need to look for another centre mid, but it will allow us to bring in Lookman, and then from there, then figure out what we want to do in centre mid. This is purely based on the impact or lack thereof that Javier Guerra has on my starting lineup. He lifted 3 trophies for us last season as captain, but he's replaceable. And, well, it looks like he's getting replaced. He's off to Leipzig to try and win something in Germany. Give me a D for that, which I think is a bit harsh. Now, how much money have I got now? 122. Now, Lookman, we could bring in... We know we can get Lookman for 40 odd. So, I'm going to go back in for Ademola Lookman now. And then we can start looking for a midfielder instead. They agreed 42 last time, so just agree 42 this time, please. You're not having Valentin Gomez. And as such, I'm going to try and take some extra money off you. 42 this side, yeah, that's fine. Right, so 42 million for Ademola Lookman. Last time we offered 125. But, well, I tried... Now you want Crucial. It's fine. He can complain as much as he likes. He'll still get loads of football. Release clause, what did we agree last time? It was 118 or so, wasn't it? Release clause-wise. And they'll agree that again. Salary. Well, we have, obviously, significantly more money to be able to negotiate now. So, how's 140? 140, Ademola Lookman will take. Marquee signing numero dos. Now, we need to improve with the depth in central midfield. We brought Sudakov in, who actually is here welcoming Ademola Lookman to the club. That is another signing through the doors. Now we just need to replace Javier Guerra. But who we replace Javier Guerra with is at this moment in time a bit of a mystery. Luka Sutic might be decent, you know. Contract expiring in 10 months. I think we found our man. Luka Sutic looks perfect, and Sociedad aren't obviously that fussed about keeping him. Otherwise, they would have offered him a new deal already. Power shot, incisive pass, technical. Can tackle, but great in possession. Physically pretty decent, and only 24 as well with room to grow. Hi, Luka. Would you like to come and join the champions? I don't want to pay your release clause, that's for sure. We can definitely get you for less than that. And with the amount of time left on his contract that is... Oh, you love to see it. Thank you! Luka Sutic, you want to come and join me, mate? He's on about 50 grand, wasn't he, a week at the minute, I think, at Sociedad. Yep. Give or take a little bit. We'll offer him important, because he's not going to be able to get into the starting lineup with Crucial, that's for sure. 4-year deal suits me down to the ground. Obviously, we're going to give him a release clause of like 130 million euro, which hopefully they'll agree to. 105 is fine for this stage. And then wage-wise, how about 60? 60 grand a week. That'll do, right? 60 grand a week. Will do indeed. Luka Sutic joins Valencia, and I believe, barring the arrival of any decent youth squad prospects that we are yet to find, because we haven't had our first scout reports back again, I think the squad is complete at this stage. Sudakov will still start, obviously, but Figueroa is going to come out of there, and Sutic is going to go in, and that's a really good 18. More so than a really good 18. It's a great 18. With Real Madrid in 3 days' time in the UEFA Super Cup. I mean, it was hard enough as it was to beat Real Madrid in regular gameplay. We lost to them every single time we've played them. But now with player-based difficulty, will they beat me 7-0? Well, let's find out. Very grimy baseline for that UEFA Super Cup that we'll be playing for. Pitch looks great, actually, reflected in it like that. Yeah, it's Real Madrid, though. And obviously, they were hard enough to play against with Upamecano, Virgil van Dijk, and the Upamecano pre-gen. But now they have either a second Upamecano pre-gen or a pre-gen of the pre-gen who's 96 rated. We're going to find this even more difficult to get through them, aren't we? Real Madrid line up as follows. Courtois in goal. Camavinga at left back. Lecoq and Busquets with Trent. Zaire Emery alongside Valverde. Vinny, Bellingham and Duranville on the right with Mbappe up top. Alright. Duranville on the right and Camavinga at left back are certainly inclusions that we wouldn't have expected. But this could be an absolute embarrassment for me. Now Trent is going to be vulnerable to a lack of pace, isn't he? Here's Harry Gazar. And there's Morgan Gibbs-White. First thing Morgan Gibbs-White does for me is decent. Great touch. Decent effort. But they've got certain Thibaut Courtois in goal. Mbappe. Yep, that's well done. Comes Vinny. Tino Livramento starting for me for the first time in a played game. And dealing with Vinicius Junior thus far. And Sufati. Hello, Jude. How are you, mate? And Sufati. Come on, then. Mantiano. The lowest rated player in the starting lineup now. But some would argue the best player in our team. Oh, it's just not quite the right ball. Looking for either man through the middle. Boyamo's misjudged that. Well, 15 minutes in, we haven't conceded yet. Vinny. And Duranville. Nice tackle by Boyomo. Bellingham, well blocked by Housen. Eligible to play against his parent club. Valverde wins that header. Here's Bellingham again. Blocked well. Bellingham scored an absolutely unbelievable goal against us. I think it was in Season 2. To give Real Madrid a 1-0 win. And it was one of the most impressive goals we've seen scored against us in any game we've played on FC26 so far, be that this save or the Palace one. It's a lovely ball out to Rafael Leao though. But Busquets is with me here. Busquets can't deal with Rafael Leao, but he can't find a way past Thibaut Courtois. Maybe I should have gone for the far corner rather than just going for sheer power. Harry Gazar to Sudakov. Sudakov from 45 yards. Ambitious to say the least. Boyamo's touch is decent. Fatty. Goodbye. Not goodbye. Zaire Emery does very well. Sudakov. Vinny. Bellingham. Good block by Housen. Away we go. Mantiano's not. Yeah, I can't really do that. I need to be a bit more methodical in what I'm doing when getting the ball out of the defensive line forward. Here's Vinny. Thank you. Oh, no, we'll have that back. Harry Gazar's fighting a hard battle at the minute. All of the defensive unit are fighting a hard battle at the minute, but it's a battle that we're at least maintaining parity with so far. It's Fede Valverde. Oh, no, I've opened up that up there. Yep, strike held well. I didn't see Rodrigo in their squad. I don't know where he is at the minute in this save. Leao again in behind Trent Alexander-Arnold here. I have to look for support again. Harry Gazar was trying to get it across towards Sudakov and couldn't do it. We've had moments in this game and we forced the save out of Courtois. But Real Madrid are still the most dominant side. But it's 0-0 at half-time. And, well, I mean, we're holding our own. I wouldn't have said this was any more difficult than player-based. Or the non-player-based gameplay. Cambiasso, Leao. Nicely to Gibbs-White. Harry Gazar, a bit of space over here for Sudakov. Sudakov, look. Oh, so close. All right, Kylian. Really? Whoa. Talk about lack of composure. He's just running a straight line through everyone. I wonder whether Cambiasso just sticking a toe in there put him off, or whether he caught the foot of Mbappe as he was following through there. That might just have been enough from Andrea to put the striker off and have such a wild finish. Not sure what Harry Gazar's doing there with his touch. Let's let Real Madrid in again. We're doing what we can here to keep them out. Duranville hasn't really done anything of any real note all game long. Jude Bellingham certainly could do. Outside the boot, cheeky one, but that's not worked for them either. Certainly chances are flowing. The chances have been flowing at both ends, really. Fati looking for Montiano. Steps away well. Harry Gazar. Looking for layout. Finding layout. And we're in. Should win this header. Has done. Harry Gazar. Have I got an option? I don't really. There's Gibbs White. Lovely sharp turn. Great take by Valverde, but we got them pressured into just getting rid of the ball when they get the chance. Real Madrid. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, there goes the end of that particular opportunity. Harry Gazar to Montiano. He's beyond Busquets. Oh, but can't quite find Morgan Gibbs-White. Harry Gazar could get to that. No, Duranville's a little bit quick. He's a lot bit quick. Harry Gazar. Oh, Leao, just stick out a toe, mate. I'm sure you can get to that. Well, this is the most competitive we've been against Real Madrid in any fixture. I don't know whether the fact that it's the Super Cup is having any impact on their performance levels or their lack of ability to find the ball into the back of the net. We've had a couple of 3-0 heavy defeats against them. We've had a 1-0-er. And to be honest, we might be in for a 1-0 of our own here. Leao again getting the better of their backline. Rafael Leao all the way. Welcome to Valencia, Rafael Leao. In the 76th minute, we might finally be about to beat this Real Madrid side. Muchas gracias, amigo mío. Uno. Rafael Leao's the man. 96 rated pre-gen or no 96 rated pre-gen? Vamos. Duranville. He's done me there. Not done Harry Gazar though. I think really the main issue for Real Madrid today has actually been Trent at right back. Rafael Leao has been, prior to the goal, our best chance of scoring something. And Trent was absolutely nowhere to be found there on the counter-attack that led to our goal. I might have just sold myself there. Hausen going to have to try and stand him up. We can't do so. Mbappe's got Bellingham in the middle. He's got Valverde there too. There is Fede Valverde. And anyway, will do for me defensively in that situation. Montiano's won that header very well. Again, Trent is actually back this time, but he's not going to be able to get to me because it's bloody Leao. Dinked into the middle. Aye, it was meant for... Oh, it was meant for Sudakov. It went towards the man at the back post. Vinny. Not long left for them to try and do something. They need to do it now. Vinicius. Sudakov can't get there. Vinny's still going on his solo run. Fede Valverde again, maybe. It's wide. With 1 minute added on. And only 15 seconds of that 1 minute remaining. We are going to lift another trophy here at Valencia. We ended last year, should I say, with a treble. Europa League, La Liga, Copa del Rey. We have begun Season 3 with another trophy. New signing Rafael Leao buries in the top corner to give his new club a new trophy. I don't know, as I've won the UEFA Super Cup before, actually, in any save. I might have done, but not for a while. It's going to be Boyomo that lifts the trophy. Of course, Javier Guerra lifted everything last year, and he's now left us. But Boyomo will be the man to lift the trophy, and if this is the sign of things to come this season, we'll be very pleased indeed. We've got the first game of the La Liga season to come, yet still today. But that's an unbelievable way to start the season, isn't it? Trophy number 1 of season number 3. Back 4 for Villarreal. They're playing a 4-4-2 again. It's a very familiar looking Villarreal side for this save. No real surprises in there. No signings in there, I don't believe, either, from the last time we played them. So you would imagine that we'll be able to get a decent result against them. Yilmaz on the right-hand side for a slightly tired Ansu Fati. Other than that, I think the 11 is the same as the one that just took the result against Real Madrid. Because, well, quite understandably, why would you change a team that's just beaten Real Madrid? That's gay. We're in the way. First experience of player based in La Liga here for this season. That sun is not helping on the far side with the kits, even though we're wearing black shorts. So bright is it on this far side that actually it's quite difficult to see at times who's who when the contrast is in transition. Here's Mauro Icardi, picked off well by Tino Livramento. He's read that brilliantly. We'll look for Yilmaz down the line. We'll wait and see if Barış Yilmaz can offer us more offensively at right wing than he did left wing last season. Gibbs White trying for a second time to find the ball through to Munteanu. We are living on the front foot here, but immediately as I say that, we're caught on the counter. Mauro Icardi looking for and finding Terats. And Icardi again, but Housen's in the way. No opportunity for Villarreal to take the lead yet. No opportunity really for us to take the lead yet either. Both defences, all right, goodbye, doing enough. Mikhail Tadze looking to go solo all the way around the outside and then back into the middle. And it's only an interception from Dean Housen that denies him a rather memorable opening goal of this La Liga campaign. But we might have the chance now. And Luis is in. And Luis spins well. And he could go for a stunning solo effort to the beginning of this new campaign. And Diego Conde makes a very good stop to ensure that we don't take a 1-0 lead. Harry first. Leao again through the gap. Brilliantly worked. Defence ripped apart. Leao in and can't find Yilmaz at the back post. As you touch, not bad at all. Keep it flowing, keep it forward. Been very aggressive in the opening few minutes of this game. Looking for Yilmaz in behind. Forced him a little bit further wide than I would like to, but ensured that he got there. Sudikov, edge of the box here is Harry Gazar. His touch isn't good enough. Still we get to the edge of the box. Still we haven't really, other than that one effort from Munteanu earlier, caused the goalkeeper enough of an issue. Terats gets away from it. Finds Icardi. Mikhail Tadze. Houser's been rock solid thus far and is needed to be. Harry Gazar in the way. That was going a long way wide, but Villarreal just giving an indication at the end of the first half that they're not out of this. We might be doing the majority of the attacking, but leave some spaces behind. They will exploit. Belligol scores for Real Madrid against Celta as they take a 2-0 lead there. They're reacting to their defeat in the Super Cup well. It's a bit of space up wide here for Yilmaz. It's a lovely ball by Gibbs White. Try and nod this down. And Gibbs White, Foyt just kind of stumbled into that. Samuel Ritchie has moved to Ajax, which is an intriguing move for him. Used to be a good go-to central midfielder, didn't he, Samuel Ritchie? Might still be, in fact. Nicola Pepe around the outside here trying the trickery. It fails to impress. And fails to have any success. Munteanu. Vega looking for Leao in that gap. Needs to get inside. Rafael Leao is proving to be the man for Valencia this season. This just goes to show it's not the position that causes the issues or lack of impact on that side. It's Yilmaz not being good enough. Because Rafael Leao's come in and immediately made an impact in the exact same role that we were employing Yilmaz in last season. Leao gave us a 1-0 win against Real. He might well have just given us a 1-0 win against Villarreal as well. Livramento, well, it's 4-1 for Real now. They really have responded to the Super Cup defeat, haven't they? Celta Vigo, the unfortunate victims of Real Madrid's revenge. Ademola Lookman's first few touches. Oh. Impress and then don't. Ademola played in with minutes to go. And his first clear-cut opportunity in a Valencia shirt is not very well taken. Now, I don't know how he's been able to get himself in the position to have an opportunity of that nature when Munteanu wasn't. So maybe Lookman's positioning is better than Munteanu, but that finish was not of the quality we expect from a player as talented as Ademola Lookman. That's a lovely through ball. Boadi's in. Is there an equaliser for Villarreal? There he's not. And he throws himself to the floor in disappointment. We could have made it 2-0 at one end. They could have equalised at the other. And neither side have managed to get the ball on target, let alone get it in. Boadi to Mikhail Tadze. Villarreal still looking for this equaliser at the very end of the game. Well, it was a unexpected effort from Thomas Partey that was dealt with in the end by David De Gea, although I wasn't expecting it. I don't think he was expecting it either. We have ourselves 3 points to start the La Liga season, but that was just as difficult a game as Real Madrid, it felt like. And actually, that's the most difficult game we've had against Villarreal for a while. So I'd go as far as to say that yes, player-based difficulty is working in that regard to make this save more difficult. We might have beaten the side that previously were unbeatable, but I do feel like maybe the fact that it was the Super Cup will have impacted the way that Real Madrid approached that fixture. I think we can more accurately judge the change once we... I'm not going to sell Eric Sanchez to Manchester United once we play Real in the league. But the fact that Villarreal played as well as they did there certainly says to me that player-based difficulty is working in making it a bit more of a challenge here in this third season, which is what we're after. I'm just advancing towards the game against Getafe to see if we get our... that's intriguing. See if we get our youth scouts back. I know you want a new contract. What I wasn't expecting was Atletico Madrid. Right. Now that is not what you anticipate, is it? We set a 120 million euro release clause for Javier Gazar. And after we rejected the bid from Real of half that, Atleti have just said, bollocks to it. We'll smash in 120 mil. Okay. Well, Javier Gazar looks like he might be on his way out then. So the question is, who do we replace him with? We will have to figure that out. This is going to be him saying, oh, I'm happy to stay. I'm open to negotiations, but you get that message every time. So initially, at the beginning of each save, we were like, oh, maybe we'll renegotiate contracts and keep the player. But until we realised you get that message every single time a release clause is triggered, almost every single time. Occasionally, you do get a player say, I want to go, but it depends on their morale, etc. Not necessarily on the actual quality of the side that have come in for them. Javier Gazar is going to leave for 120 million and adds that 120 million to our currently 35 million remaining. I think we might be able to sign someone significantly talented as a replacement in tomorrow's transfer deadline day inclusive episode. But that is all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching this one, YouTube. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on tomorrow's transfer deadline day special. Of course, make sure you're dropping a like on the video. It really helps push the content to new audiences, and hopefully you guys feel like we've had a better transfer window or a more agreeable transfer window this time around than you did last season. But fingers crossed we can find an adequate replacement for Javier Gazar. I'm sure we will for that sort of money. I'll see you tomorrow.